Welcome back to SkyFactory 4, and I decided to try and upgrade our terminal. We have our wireless terminal here. I upgraded to a universal one, thinking that this will get us crafting. The previous one did not give us crafting. It was just a terminal. And this one also, unfortunately, doesn't give us crafting either. So I'm not quite sure why we don't get crafting. Wireless crafting terminals, that is. But maybe that's been removed for a reason. Anyway, that'll be added back, if I'm sure, if it's been removed temporarily. So we're going to have to do crafting from here, unfortunately. So that is not great, but we'll cope. We'll get through it. Through the trauma. So we should probably be shifting everything from these chests, the random chests, across, and then reattaching our filing cabinets, and then, you know, we can get rid of this earlier cable and stuff like that. So the filing cabinets definitely need to be continue to be used. So I will leave them as is. Whoops. And over here, then, we're going to need to get everything sorted. So to get everything imported, we're going to need well, we can't craft anything from there at the moment because we don't have it. So we're going to need an import bus or few, and we'll get that going. Import bus. Do I have the bits and pieces for that yet? I probably don't. Annihilation core and an import bus. We're going to need some cards, and they are going to be the advanced cards and then acceleration cards, if I remember rightly. So advanced cards, we need 4 of them. Do I not have any more of those processors? Give me lots of those. Yes. That should do the job now. So 4 of those cards. And we can upgrade them, presumably using regular Quartz crystals. Yes. Might be best if I actually pull those out of my inventory as well as just from there. Yep. So let's get those. And that just means it's basically going to be really fast at actually importing this stuff. So we will get that import sorted. Straightforward to do. We just need to put an import bus here, put the acceleration cards in, and it should start ripping through this by importing everything we have. So we can just, oh god, this takes so long to actually move this stuff around. But if we just pop it down, we should start importing into the system. Yep. So I'm just going to take that back for a second because we only get 63 types by default. Okay. So I need, first of all, to actually upgrade our number of drives. And we have lots of mineral wood. So let's just put that back into the system. But the import should work perfectly fine once we've got it going. We can just pop them down here. We're not going to do that with filing cabinets. Definitely not going to do it with filing cabinets. So now I need to just go and craft some of those 4K drives. Now, it'd be nice to basically autocraft some of this stuff. And why am I typing into this? Nothing in there yet. Molecular assembler. So we need molecular assemblers, and we need interfaces. So molecular assemblers are fairly straightforward recipes. We're probably going to be missing the annihilation cores or formation cores, one of the two. And we should make some more of each. I'm going to be missing... Yeah, this is going to give me 1 molecular assembler. I'm going to be missing the cores because I need to grind up more of our fluix crystals. So can we put this in the manufactory? Is that where it comes from? Yes, it is. Okay, and we will get more of those fluix crystals on the go. Fluix crystals, what was the recipe again? The recipe was in here somewhere. Mineral chunks. A lot of mineral chunks. So let's just get 3 or 4 stacks. And the infusing factory, was it infusing? Yes. So it can do 3 stacks simultaneously, which is good enough for me. And we can come back to that later. So we have molecular assembler. We're also going to need an interface. And we're going to need multiple of them to get started, and they should pass through, so this should be actually fairly simple to sort out. We just need 1 more of those annihilation cores, so we're going to need a little bit of crushed fluix dust. And we can get the interface sorted. We need that side. And let's put in the processors into the system. I don't much care for everything else, but the processors is very much worthwhile. And now we have an interface block. So the interface block, well, we can put it anywhere. We're going to say, well, do we actually have any glass cable? Do we have any cable left? Cable? I want regular boring fluix glass cable, which needs quartz, which needs glass. Okay, so I should probably think about getting some stuff done. Oh, look, I already thought of that. Good. And let's get, yeah, 6 of that will do for now. And we'll just get some glass cables sorted. Okay, so 12 glass cable. And we're going to put this wherever we actually decide to have the pillar. I'm not quite sure where we're going to have it for now. So for now, I'm just going to put it over here. And let's bring it over the top. I do have creative flight, but it is timed, which isn't much of a problem. But yeah. So where we're going to actually put this, it's temporary, so it doesn't really much matter. We'll put one on top. And then we'll start putting molecular assemblers around it. Okay, and then we can store in here any recipes that we actually want once we have a pattern terminal, which is coming up shortly, and we'll use that to autocraft. So if this was a channel-based AE2 playthrough, then we'd have to deal with this, because if we stack them vertically, each one of these uses up basically a channel, so you can only stack 8 of them vertically per smart cable and all kinds of other stuff. We don't have to worry about it. It's much, much easier. You just need to craft interfaces and molecular assemblers. So we probably want to do the first sort of stuff for crafting the interfaces themselves and the molecular assemblers, so they can actually make more of themselves, as well as things like pattern terminals. So, not looking there. We need a pattern terminal, definitely. Okay, and we need just a regular, well, that says crafting terminal, so we need to go through this again. That is not terrible. And let's just make, I don't know, 1 of these. Am I short? What am I short on? Logic processors? Do I not have logic processors? Yes, I do. Good. So 1 terminal, and hence hopefully 1 crafting terminal, and then 1 pattern terminal. Good. And you can go there for now. We probably want an interface terminal at some point as well, but I could probably move that import bus to actually sort that out later, and we can have them in a line. With you done, we need some patterns to get ourselves started. And blank patterns. Yep, that's going to use up quartz glass, which I don't have a huge amount of yet. Yeah, exactly, that's just going to run out. But one of the things we actually want this for is to pop them in here somewhere. There we go. And then we want to basically add stuff like this. It still doesn't let me shift click in stuff that I don't currently have. It might be nice if it actually allowed me to do that. Unlike some other mass storage systems that allow you to do that, mentioning no refined names. Yeah. Anyway, that's that sorted. So do we have everything else we can pull out of here? We need to get a few more bits and pieces. So I'm going to grind up some more quartz in our manufactory. In fact, I've got nearly a full stack, so that's fine. And we've got some sand as well. So I should be able to make this into quartz glass. And we'll make as much of it as we actually can. 40 seems fine. And then we'll make the patterns. So I need the quartz glass itself. And we need some other bits and pieces. So what was it? We need to actually find it in this system. This is going to be annoying to get started. But once we have it get started, it's fine. Wrong thing. Pattern. Why aren't you synchronized? I just need to change this across then. J synchronized auto. So pattern. Yeah, there we go. So fluix crystal, glowstone, quartz, and iron. Glowstone and iron should be straightforward. Glowstone. We'll convert more back, I guess, from glowstone block form. And we'll just grab some iron. Hopefully there is some in here. Ooh, there's not much. I need to actually go and make more. We've got huge amounts of resin and acorns. That needs to go and get changed. So let's put those in. And now you should be able to shift click in, hopefully, with that. So pattern and shift click. Yep, and we can store this. So the system, once it has materials, we can put it in here. And it now knows how to make patterns. So if I just grab that, you can see I can craft one. And it's going to say, well, no, we have no crafting CPUs. Okay, so the next step for auto crafting is going to need the CPUs as well. Not a problem. they are going to require a few bits and pieces that we should have most of it. Let's just take a look. Applied. So here they are. We need these crafting units themselves. That looks trivial-ish. We're short of glass cable, but we can sort that out. Co-processing unit uses those as well as another processor. So that's why we needed our processing units going. And we also need a storage for our crafting, and that relates to how many items you can craft as part of one request at once. If you request one thing, but it needs 4,000 subcomponents to make it up, then you're looking at like 4,000 sort of storage. So you have to think about that as well. Do we have this in here, or is this storage list because of... No, it isn't. There it is. So yeah, 4K crafting storage, same 4K modules, and these crafting units. So if we want to create my sort of default, then I would normally have 9 of these, or 8 or 9 of these. The crafting monitor is optional, but again, need one of them. So we need 9 times that, and we're out. Because I'm out of iron. But we should have some iron somewhere. Ooh, did I take it all? Yeah, I might have taken it all, because remember I used to have the melter set up here, and I'm going to need to put that back together again. Fine, so iron amber. Do I have any of that? Nope. Let's actually make some iron amber. And there we go. We just grab stacks of the stuff, and it's going to melt up really, really quickly inside our smeltery, so that's not going to be much of a problem. We do, however, need to automatically smelt it back down again, but we'll have to wait for that to actually occur. I've got so many different stuff in here now that, well, it's getting a bit jumbled. We can always destroy the controller and recreate it again, or basically siphon everything off into ingot form. But I'll do that off camera, so I'll skip forward until I've got some more iron, and we can get started with the processing units. Well, that's all nicely resolved now. So we have those crafted. We need 1 crafting monitor, 1 4K crafting storage, and the rest of a 9 blocks. We need to have basically a rectangular block of some sort, and you could just make 1 and have those 3 above each other if you wanted to, but I tend to make them a little bit larger than that. So I tend to put my crafting storage at the bottom. And so if we wanted it here, for example, we could put the crafting storage there. We can put the monitor above it. And these are all temporary locations, I promise. And we can put them together like this. And it'll change, obviously, when it's a valid form. So you can see that is valid. And now we should be able to ask it to make something for us. So patterns, yep, and you can make a pattern. More importantly, we can grab it from here and put that into the system. So we have a pattern, or ability to create anything that we put in here now. Good. So we can already make cable. We should already craft a couple of things. So for example, quartz fiber we should definitely do, because that's one of the subcomponents for cable. And then we know that it knows it needs crushed quartz and glass, and you know, we can get that particular recipe going. And there we go. And then we should probably start adding the other stuff like the interface. So the interface we need for a recipe, that's getting 2 subcomponents, so we should add those first. So it knows how to make those. We need to go from the pattern terminal to do this. Sorry, not the other one. So interface. So we're going to need the annihilation core. We need to tell this to make patterns first of all. Can you make 4 for me? Yes, please. There we go. So there we go. And interface again. Formation core. Job's done. Oh. Actually, we're short on something. What are we short on? Oh, mineral chunks. Okay, so we're going to have to grab stuff from the other system every so often. Not very often. I'm just going to dump them into this system just so that we can actually pick them up for recipes. And mineral chunk can go in there. Is that not the recipe? And sounds like something I need to actually attack in a second. So formation core and annihilation core, good. And that should mean that if we have all of those, we should be able to shift click in. We can't yet, which means I just need to put these in. And now it knows how to make them. So we can ask for those out of the system. Let's craft 1, it'll make 2 anyway. And now the interface should be something I can grab and tell it how to make. Yeah, I made an actual interface without going through the pattern terminal again. Annoying. Okay, so make 1 more of both of those for me. please? Ah, need a logic processor. What's making that noise? Oh, it's a rogue android. Now, normally that would be a problem, except that I am an android as well. So, yeah, it's not a problem. In fact, we can go and make sure it's not a problem with a phaser rifle and an energy pack and say hello. I nearly shot my horse. My horse is fine. However, my FOV did actually change when I wielded this. I'm not sure I like that particular idea, so we may have to check as some alternate solution for that. Anyway, back to where we were. We've got Autocrafting fully working now, and I just needed a couple of things to get that going. Formation core, I needed annihilation core, which means gold processors. Yeah, got 25 of them. You can go in there, and we can make an annihilation core. You can shift click as well there to actually save that. And we want some more sand processing. So let's just get some sand. Throw away the sand saplings. And we can just replace these in here because we've got a bunch of glass already. And there we go. Whoops, not the right thing again. Need to get this in the right thing. Formation core, annihilation core. Annihilation core. Yes. There we go. There's the pattern. And nearly done. So the last one is just the molecular assembler. And I think that already has everything else that we previously have put together. It needs to know how to make crafting stations or workbenches. But other than that, everything else it should know how to make. Quartz glass it may need to know. I don't think I have that already. So let's just get this in the right terminal. I need to put them into different places so that I can muscle memory my way through these things. So yes, let's just get that sorted. So molecular, I need about 3 more recipes and it's all in the same actual machine. So that's 1. Let's get the patterns going, another 3 or 4. And we'll just grab the rest of it in here. So crafting station, we just want to go for the boring old vanilla version. If there is one. I guess there isn't. Yeah, let's go for this. And we just want planks of some kind. Oh, well, planks is perfectly fine. Good. And then is that it? Anything else that we don't know how to make? No, that should be everything. So we just need 1 crafting grid. Crafting table, I should say. And you should be done. Okay. Now our system can, with all of the slots used in one interface, first of all, we can make more interfaces to add more slots, but we can also think about different ways to actually stack this up to make it work. Again, it matters a lot less in this particular pack because we don't have any channels to worry about. So you can literally make a wall of them, and that's not going to be a problem because the one thing you want to create as well is the interface terminal, if that's what it's called. Yeah, interface terminal. So you don't have to keep running over to it and putting everything through. You can, let me just create one of you. And I think that's pretty much it apart from an interface. And we can tell the system to build an interface for us. Yep. There we go. So interface terminal is automatic. All right. So now, can I actually just get rid of you for a second? Oh, whoops. Not a large problem, just still a problem. Let's put that down, and then the interface terminal can go down there. And then I should have all my stuff back. So where's my bus? There it can go. Go on the back. Those can have the acceleration cards, and the system should now be ready. Now it still can't create 4K storage by itself, but because we've now got an interface terminal, we can basically see our assemblers. And we can also just drop in patterns right here. So now I'm going to go through and actually add the recipes for a couple of things. One is 4K drives. So if we want those 4K ME storage cells, and this pack, by the way, does have extra cells. So if you think you stop at 64K, no, you very much do not stop at 64K. You continue going. So there is a 1024K and keeps on going further and further up. So there's a 16 meg storage cell So lots and lots of items should you want to actually craft it, but you have to craft all your way through all the other stuff, and it requires various bits and pieces. Not that we actually need that level just yet, because we have the filing cabinets for mass storage. So all I'm going to actually do really here is craft up to this stage, the 4K ME storage component, and then hence the 4K storage cell, or via this particular recipe, and get that going so that it can craft its own cells. At that point, we can move any of our miscellaneous storage chests across and leave these filing cabinets where they are. Remember that the systems for these will not go into our AE2 system unless we connect the two, so right now they will only go to the filing cabinets. Importantly, I think, if I remember rightly, if these can't take any output, I think these bonsai pots, if I remember rightly, just dump. So they'll just keep on growing like this. They won't show that they've stopped, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It's been a while. But if they can't go anywhere, it can't go anywhere, and we should be fine. So we're not going to massively fill up our AE2 system unless we're ready. One important other point is that stuff that we've not assigned to filing cabinets is currently being stored in here. So you'll see things like mineral wood. And do I have mineral wood in any of these? I don't think I do. Let's just quickly check. Mineral, no. Okay, so importantly here is that if we want stuff to be stored in our filing cabinets, we will have to move them across as part of this. So have a think about that for yourself if you want to do that. Otherwise, just pick up these and dump them into your system. So off I'm going to go to put in the rest of the patterns. And this is my last chest going in. It feels so great to have all of that go straight into our system. I did nearly fill up one full drive block already. All the orange ones are basically filled with types, so the numbers of different items. Things with the red are full of bytes, i.e. the number of items. So to get rid of the red, you can have a look at things like mineral or something with high quantity, and you can move those off into filing drawers as and when you feel like you should. For example, the mineral wood, we probably should move off into a filing drawer. It doesn't make much difference when you decide to do that, but that's all cleaned up now. So we now no longer have any need for those expandable chests anymore, and we can put the rest of this stuff in the system. Some seeds, molecular assembler, some sand, and we're pretty cleaned up there. Yeah, we've got pretty much everything stored in there, apart from what's in the filing cabinets. To get those done, we just need a small bit of crafting to do. That's for a storage bus, I think. Yes. So it needs to know how to make those three things. Whether you want to make storage buses automatically or not is up to you. I sort of do. I don't need fluid storage buses yet, but we need to basically make these two things. And we should have the ability to make pistons. I've got lots of sticky pistons. Can we just make a couple of normal pistons? This is the pattern terminal. I should be able to just drag them from that. Pistons. Oh, that's why. I'm out of why am I out of cobble? Oh, it's probably it's in the filing. You know, sometimes where is my storage remote? What's left in this system? Yeah, it's everything in there, so I need to get the cobble back out, or at least some cobble back out. And then we'll, of course, reattach everything with storage buses to our main E2 system. So let's just get some piston. Well, one piston should do the job. Really wish you could just choose things that you don't already have in here, but storage bus. And let's tell it so it knows how to make a piston. Get some patterns. Can you make 10 yet? You can. Good. Just a few should do. There we go. So one pattern for that and one pattern for the storage bus. Yes, if we ran out of sticky pistons, we'd need that recipe in there as well, but we haven't yet. And those should be able to, we're now be able to shift click those in as well. Do be aware you need at least one molecular assembler per interface block touching it, so that won't work if you don't do that. And then there we go for the storage buses, so we can just craft. I'm going to need, I don't know, let's say 10. It's going to need logic processors for those. Yes, let me sort that one out. And the storage buses are done, so we can literally just connect these up as you might expect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I need to move you for a second. Let's get rid of that for a second. There we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. And we can just connect these up with cable. Now, before we decide to actually connect them up to the rest of the system, we do need to make sure we set the priority on them. And that's in here somewhere, priority. And we're going to set just positive 10. It doesn't really much matter what you choose here, as long as they're positive. Basically saying, try to store here first. This is the opposite of the other storage system's priority. So just be aware of that when you're actually putting these through. You don't want these to be small, i.e. negative. You want them to be positive. And then we will then, first of all, be able to see them anyway. But second of all, if we decide to import stuff into the system, it will preferentially try to go into these. Now, importantly here, we don't have to replace any of this cabling down here, because this is going to go into the filing drawers if it can. If it can't, it's going to get backed up. That's certainly something we need to take care of. So each of these should have a filing drawer, but we don't need the AE2 system, because the AE2 system just addresses these as storage drawers. So if we look for coal sapling now, in fact, ooh, hang on, can these not see them? Sapling? Coal sapling? Interesting. What have we got in here? Let's find something. Coal sapling 255. Can we not see that? Storage bus? Device. Oh. Yes. Please do connect it to your system before establishing that there is a problem. So, yeah, let's just put that there. Now we should be able to see everything, hopefully. Yes, so we've got thousands. So obviously our oak wood is one of the biggest things, but our coal sapling, we still can't see coal saplings. Oh, hang on, I just made, why? That should be coal sapling. Coal, space, coal? Okay, fine. It's definitely in there and we definitely have them. It just doesn't deal with spaces at all well. Okay, so that's all connected. It's ugly as sin. Yes, I will be moving stuff off into their own rooms. And we need to build a structure up here. Now that I have Creative Flight, I can build multiple tiers, multiple levels, and think about it that way. Not quite sure. What do you guys think? What should we actually do as far as storing things as far as this is concerned? We don't have a wireless crafting terminal, which means I'm not going to be able to do a lot of this remotely. So I'm going to need a few of these dotted around the place, and we'll probably enclose them in walls or pillars or something like that, just rather than leave them ugly like this. That needs a bit of work. Otherwise, we have everything in one system now. What we don't have is the overflow if we didn't already set things up in filing drawers. So I need to go through each of these and make sure they have an associated filing drawer. We could even move them on top of the filing drawers once I move this out, so that each of these will output into their respective drawer directly. Not quite sure whether I want to do that yet, but that's certainly one option. Otherwise, we could just move these off to the edge and just have a whole bunch of storage buses behind them connected just like this. So we don't need to have these occupying space in the main part of the base anymore. We can just move them over into a wall of filing cabinets, which I quite like the idea of. So yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Lots of autocrafting done. The system is now functional, and we've replaced the old crusty system with the brand new AE2 system, and then I think we're going to start moving things around. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Next episode, we're going to get into more stuff, and probably into more of the quest stuff. I think now that we have a system that can generate a lot of the stuff for us and can autocraft for us, it's mostly a matter of exploring new systems. So I think we're probably going to go for the trials for deep mod learning next. Maybe after a bit of a piece of, of just moving stuff around. I may show a bit of that, but probably not too much. We'll get into the trial system and see where we go from there. Do I have anything for more shulker matter? Yes, I do. Which means I get even more flight added to my timer. I'm happy about that. You out of power? No, you're out of polymer clay. Fine. So see you next episode for some more SkyFactory 4. And thanks a lot for watching.